What's up, everybody? We back with another message, another video. Thank you to all my new subscribers and future new subscribers. You know we do nothing here without God, because everything is spiritually led by God over here. We cover the world from a spiritual and physical aspect to get the raw, real, and uncut answers. So anything you hear, anything you see in these end times, may you test the spirits, aka take the words and visuals back to prayer with God. As there are many Decepticons running around in these end times sent from the enemy, had a strong, close, and personal relationship with God. Good, great, awesome. I'm glad we can come down to that agreement. So, what is it that you're sending your kids to school to? Well, we're going to talk about that today, now aren't we? Let's do it. All right, daily dose of the truth. Let's see. Let's start with the curriculum. English, practically everything they teach is becoming a lie, even more so than what it already was, English. Now we're being taught pronouns to identify people based on more than two genders. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Pronouns that identify something that is not considered male or female. So English is becoming a lie. All right, let's talk about math. Pretty soon, Timothy, that's a part of the LG community, had one apple. And Rebecca, who's also part of the LG community, who likes rainbows, specifically the flag rainbows, has two apples. How many apples are in the LG parade altogether? Because that's all the enemy wants to do is spread, spread, spread lies everywhere. All right, let's talk about history, because they already act a fool with history. They already lying. But really, they double lying. Because see, with these wars, they don't really tell you what's going on and why they're even there, and the fact that there's something in or on around the territory that they want. They don't tell you that, And we already talked about that. Let's not get into Nephilim and stuff like that, because we may be called conspiracy theories before this video ends. Let's not do that today. All right? But anyway, back to history. Specifically, Black history.
So when I heard it didn't meet the standards, I figured, they may be doing serious. It's way more than that. This course on Black history, what's one of the lessons about? Queer theory. Now, who would say that an important part of Black history is queer theory? That is somebody pushing an agenda on our kids. And so when you look to see they have stuff about intersectionality, abolishing prisons, that's a political agenda. Having any sexual content in elementary school is inappropriate. It's wrong. And yes, I think the gender ideology is something that is very problematic. When you have very young kids, and if you have a teacher saying, well, what gender would you like to be? No, that is not these are impressionable kids. You're trying to tell them that somehow they can just switch to be a different gender. So that's wrong. So I think some of it can be incredibly harmful.
Queer theory and abolishment of prisons. That's right. Pushing agendas and history. You see how that works? Crazy, right? Think you're going to learn history that day, and next thing you know, they adding additions to it that was never there. Anywho, let's continue while we at it. Science. Let's talk about science. Yep, I'm down for that. Cooking and cleaning and, what sets on fire and, all the awesome things. So you don't burn your house down. We got to learn the chemicals, the periodic tables, No. They had to teach evolution because we came from another animal. That's where we stem from, ladies and gentlemen. Even though God knew us before the womb. Can you believe that? It's like they're trying to use science to disprove God. Right, birds? I'm saying. But anywho, let's continue. They even tried to tell you that the U.S. landed on the moon, had the man land on the moon and all this. Well, how come in China, that is more technologically advanced, they're sending people in 2030? And if they had already been, just like the Lord was expressing to me, how come they haven't been back? That's right. If you're so curious, go one time and don't ever go back again and act like you're struggling with the space shuttles. It'll convince people that maybe it was even more real. Goodness. Let's not talk about that anymore. We might get called crazy. What's next? I don't know. Let's talk about changing rooms. You got gym, bathrooms. They're encouraging young boys to go into the little girls' bathroom. That's right. They're teaching and grooming the children. And these girls, as we go up in the grades, they're coming out and speaking out against this.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and only ladies and gentlemen it is and shall always be. I am an 18-year-old high school student and wanted to take this time to bring to your attention the current issue with biological men claiming they are women and in turn truly believing that they are entitled to use women's spaces. There was an incident within our district that occurred recently regarding a transgender woman who really is a biological man having an altercation with a young woman at MLK High School. It was infuriating when I had seen the video on social media, but what was detrimental to this is the fact that this man is and has been using the women's restroom and locker room. Firstly, the question we must address is why are we affirming the mental confusion of this boy and putting the safety of women in jeopardy by allowing mentally confused men to use the women's spaces? Of course, any male who claims he is a woman will accept it, but what about the women? What about the true girls like myself who are female down to our DNA? Why don't we ever get a say in whether or not we are comfortable with this? The truth is, we aren't. The majority of us aren't, and yet nothing has been done to protect the safety of these women. I will conclude with this. It all starts with you. You are in charge of the safety of us women and the kids of our parents. So please do something about it. Thank you.
How this is wrong. Now you would think, isn't that a given? Well, apparently not in 2023, because the enemy loves to lie, and that's what he's doing to all the children, lying straight to their face using other people that are also deceived, right? Because you identify as something, you can do what you want to do. Pretty soon, I can pick any animal I want to identify as, and I can do that. That's right. Pretty soon, cats and dogs, humans will be identifying as. Prepare, because you don't want to discriminate and be animal phobic. That's right. Whatever you're going to call them. I remember this book called Animorphs. I don't know what's going on there, but they were on to something with those books. Have you seen Doja Cat? Anyway, you appear at these conferences, panels, meetings, whatever you want to call it, gatherings, where these people are sitting up there, the board is sitting up there with blank pieces of paper, and they act like they're writing down what you're saying as you're speaking and letting all of that truth out in anger. And what they're doing is got their heads down, look up occasionally to act like they're listening to you with a blank stare, because they totally care about everything you have to say. That's right. They want to fix your situation. It's not like they are in agreement with it. Oh, wait. They are. And they don't care. Funny thought. I mean, you have to have a law. You have to have a vote to ban boys or men from competing in girls' women's sports. Never knew that day was coming. How you doing? Looks like we're here today. So do you see what's really going on right now? I mean, it's to the point where Satan has made his way to after-school programs. I mean, you heard it first. And if you haven't heard it first, you probably heard it first somewhere else. Either way, you've heard it today or yesterday. That's right. Satan has made his way into after-school programs, the Satan clubs. Tyrant authority, they stand against, because they're tired of people telling them what to do, just like Satan was tired of God telling him he couldn't and couldn't and couldn't. And he shouldn't. So he started a war in heaven, got beat up by Michael, got casted out, and he's a loser on earth, and he's trying to bring other people with him on the losing side. You see how that works? Targeting the children. Wow. And the parents, It's crazy how they're doing this to their own children. We don't support Satan or worship Satan, but we support Satanism. Well, maybe you didn't take English because ism is the practice of, and then you have Satan. You're doing the practices of Satan and fighting for rights that man gave you. But what do we know? We're religious. Because God is totally the spirit of religion. Not even a little bit. But anywho, back to the craziness in this world. Then you got people who are wearing women's garment and whatever face paint that is, preaching, teaching, and influencing young children that they are unique and very special. And that there should be nothing wrong with expressing yourself the way you feel. Last time I checked, we have God's law, and that says male shall not wear women's garment and the other way around. But what do I know? That was man-made, because it's not like God created us the way he wanted to create us, how he made it all be the way it is. And that basic, well, if we take it back to science, basic biology, people deny that but try to use science to disprove God. I don't know how that works, but they do it. It seems like everything has been so chaotic with this message thus far, because it is. There's nothing actually good about it. And let's not talk about how they could actually take your children away from you if you don't comply with certain things. But let's not talk about that. We might get censored because we don't have democracy. Why don't we have democracy? Because we serve God. Only the devil's children get that. If I walk around with the Jesus shirt, they're going to kick me out the mall. That's right, kick me out. And if I'm preaching on the street and someone hits me in the face, I'm going to be walking away in handcuffs because I serve God. And they don't. Sounds right to you, doesn't it? Probably because it doesn't. At all. Not even a little bit. But anywho, we're religious. You know, even though we got celebrities meowing and they think it's a joke or a character, you know, I mean, let's get real.
Okay, so tell me all about this. Wow. I mean, so who made it? Wow. Wow.
But let me not discriminate against animorphs or be animophobic, whatever you want to call it, humanophobic. I don't know what they're going to call it these days. Because I serve God and that's chaos to me. And I'm ready to go home sometimes. But you know what? I can't go home yet because we got work to do on earth. But do you see the problem here? I would hope you do. Because many don't. Actually, to them, it's all right. Leave my kids alone. Because you know what? They're not yours. And I can do what I want and teach my kids the way I want to. It's not like there's a thing called Judgment Day where you have to account for everything you do. But who knew? You know, we're just religious. Right? Anyway, enough is enough at the end of the day. And that's enough of the daily dose of the truth. Peace and blessings. And I will catch you guys in the next one.